So my name is Rachel and I'm here today to talk about self-help books, which feels a bit weird to say, feels a bit awkward to say, and that is part of the reason that I am talking to you today. So the reason that I decided I wanted to talk about self-help today is because I have been reading a lot of books that I don't usually read and been sort of trying to challenge some of my assumptions and some of the ways that I feel. I don't really know the form that this video is going to take because it's kind of just some thoughts on self-help as a genre. So yeah, I'm just going to get started. So I wanted to talk about the first book that I think that I read that was a self-help book was called Overcoming Low Self-Esteem. I can't remember what the subtitle was or who the author was. So I read this about 3 months into starting BookTube. I'm pretty sure I never mentioned it on my channel. I didn't mention it in a book haul. I just didn't mention it. I'm pretty sure it never came up. I was so embarrassed of the fact that I was reading it and that was something that I was doing, because people in general have such a negative response to self-help. It's either like in it for money, or it's silly, or it's like just self-indulgent, and there's this negative attitude towards self-help as a genre. So I was really embarrassed to talk about it, but when I got that book, I also got The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf, and I showed this on my channel. I remember showing this on my channel and mentioning that I got it and mentioning that I was reading it. And I got both books for the same reason. My girlfriend got them. She said, I think that you have self-esteem problems and that it's like a problem for you in your life, and it's one of the reasons that like you haven't done certain things or you feel certain ways, and these books might help you. And yeah, this book was exactly the same as Overcoming Low Self-Esteem. It was meant as a self-help book, but I didn't see this one as a self-help book because this was feminism, this was academic. This was more acceptable to me than the self-help one, so I talked about this one. This is like how images of beauty are used against women. So because I have self-esteem issues, this is about like how the media and pictures of women's bodies affects us and our mental health, and how it's used to do that by purpose. This is a self-help book. That's what I was using it for. And I didn't think about that at the time. I haven't thought about any of it really, but I've thought about it recently because I started reading 2 books. So the first one is Plot and Structure, and this is in the Write Great Fiction series, and this one is by James Scott Bell. This is Techniques and Exercises for Crafting a Plot that Grips Readers from Start to Finish. So if you don't know, I aspire to be a writer in my life. That's what I want to do, and I picked this up to learn about plot and structure because obviously when you write a novel, novels kind of need certain beats and certain structures to make them work, or you have to kind of know about those to go outside of them, that sort of thing. So I got this, and then I also got this 10th anniversary edition of Writing Tools. This is 55 essential strategies for every writer. So I've just finished the first section, and that was all about sentence structure and things like that. So these 2 books are writing books, but as I was looking at them, I was thinking, these are self-help books. I bought these books to help myself get better at something. I am helping myself. These are self-help, but I don't have any stigma about holding these up. But then this other book that I've been reading that is a self-help book, I do still feel awkward about talking about, and it's Body Positive Power: How to Stop Dieting, Make Peace with Your Body and Live. I feel awkward holding this up. It's this thing with the self-help thing, and I don't know why there is this stigma around trying to improve yourself and trying to get better as a person, but it's there and I feel it, and I feel awkward holding this book up, but I don't feel awkward holding these books up. And before I decided to do this video, I looked downstairs at books that actually, for me, are self-help books. I read this book this month. This is Zen in the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury. I read an essay before every writing session while I was reading this book, and I used it to motivate me and to learn about writing. So that was a self-help book. And then looking through my shelves, I found a few more that were like that. So The Establishment and How They Get Away with It by Owen Jones. This was when the last election was coming up. I am interested in politics and I know a bit about politics, but I always feel like my opinion isn't justified because I don't know enough. I can't I can't talk about it at length, and there's just this thing where you have to like sound clever to talk about politics, and so I decided to pick this book up to learn more about politics so that I could talk about it and I could be more informed in my opinions. And so, yeah, this is a self-help book. Then we have Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow by Yuval Noah Harari. I bought this because the project that I've been working on for the past year, the writing project, is set in a like dystopian future, and so I wanted to kind of read something that talked about what we predict for the future, so that maybe I could use any ideas from this, anything for inspiration and plot and things like that. This book, Corruption, What Everyone Needs to Know, I bought this because I wanted to know more about how governments are corrupt and how societies are corrupt, and yeah, if you know these things then you can try and work against them, that sort of thing. So all of the books that I've just mentioned to me are self-help books because I use them to improve myself, and this book that I'm embarrassed to hold up is no different to this book that I don't care about holding up. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel weird about holding this one up. I just think it's really weird that we have this stigma around people trying to improve themselves in one certain area. It's always these books that are termed self-help and not the others. And they're always about improving your mental health or like mindfulness or any of those sort of things, and there is such a stigma attached to them, and I feel it as someone who doesn't want that stigma. I still have it, and the reason I'm making this video, the reason I'm addressing it, is because I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel fine about it. I don't want there to be a stigma, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about it until there isn't a stigma. That's basically what this video is. I'm just going to ramble about it until I feel fine about reading them. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know what the purpose of this video was, except from, yeah, me talking. I just wanted to discuss it though, because I just find it really strange that there is this stigma, and especially to something like, why is it that there's a stigma with the ones that are about improving your mental health when that should be a good thing, and we strive to tell people to go out and seek help and get, you know, try to help themselves get better, and then when they do, we're like, oh, you reading those books, really? Oh my god, blah, blah, blah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you feel that way, why do you feel that way? Is it just because society told you, or is there some like valid reason that I've missed? Have you ever read a book that you didn't consider self-help at the time, but when you look back now you think, I read that book to improve myself, to help myself improve? That is technically a self-help book for me. I would be really interested to know, and thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!